Alright, so it's been a couple of weeks since we last dealt with this car, since we last talked to you guys. And we are with this car right now. So we are on a hunt. We're on a hunt for something to mark with.
Maybe it just doesn't like the primer.
It just doesn't like me. So we're on a hunt to mark dents on the car. So you can't have bare metal, you can't have anything but bare metal if you're putting primer down. So we're identifying, filler down, yeah. I'll get it figured out one day. Yeah, we're not a body shop. Anyway, we're going through the car right now and marking all the dents. So Calissa and I are going over dents. Darren is taking a door apart. We are working on Clunker, the 1200, trying to get body work done. Good. So we replaced one of the fenders. We used a fender off of my other 1200, and then we took and put the parts doors on from the parts car, and we are now going through the whole car and identifying where we need to do body work, where we need to do filler work, where we need to do. This car is not going to be perfect because I'll show you. So this spot right here is a good example of something you may not see because of Bondo and why this car is probably never going to be perfect. This is, if you look at this point right here, somebody has taken and stitched in this panel onto the car. And they spot welded it all in, but it's got a huge dent right here. We're going to try and straighten that out, but I doubt we're going to get it perfect. And then, of course, otherwise, this car would have gone to the junkyard. If we didn't take...
Not even the junkyard, it would have gone in the dumpster.
Dumpster?
Yeah, it would have gotten scrapped if we hadn't done this process, so nobody should cry if it doesn't turn out perfect. The fact we're even going to make a run is impressive. There's a dent right here we need to... And then there's a crease right here. And then we've got a spot right here that needs... Alright, so we've done some body filler work. We did some dent repair with some metal work using a hammer and dolly. It's awful noisy to use, but this is what you use, a dolly and a hammer. And most of what you want to do is try and get the metal as straight as possible. And that's what we've done here. So now we've put some body filler on. So the car now has a bunch of body filler on it in the different areas where we know for a fact we're not going to be able to get it as straight as we want it. And so now it's just a matter of letting it sit, and then we get to go back and sand all of that back, and most all that body filler gets to get sanded off, and then probably apply some more, sand that off, and then we can prime it. Sound good? So there's some spots we're not super proud of, but overall we got body filler in the spots where we figure that we're going to need it. So we're getting it all done, getting it all taken care of.
Well, today we were working on the 1200. As you can see, a lot of body work. And just to let you know, a word from our sponsor, Gary from Cornwell. Don't just corn good, corn well.
That's right.
Alright, so working on Japanese car today means
Food.
eating with Japanese food, huh? What are you having today?
Udon.
Nice. Alright. Alright, so we spent a day sanding. Here's Calissa. She's blowing her car off. Blowing the car off. And we've sanded off a lot of the filler. Still have to do the roof. We still have a lot to do, but this is what it looks like after the first sand. And this is what the floor looks like after the first sand. So, lots of dust. Anyway, we're going to clean that up. Working hard on clunker today, or at least this one is, because it's a day off from school. So we're working on, what's up? It's working on clunker. So we've laid down some epoxy primer on the car to pretty much seal back all the garbage that's underneath and seal up that Bondo that we've laid down. And now we're in the process of going through and sanding that back. So we're block sanding that epoxy primer back, and now we're going to go ahead at some point, hopefully soon, and then lay down some primer, some non-epoxy. We're going to grab some urethane primer that will give us the ability to do some high fill. Every good paint job requires a good sanding. So block sanding is the only way to achieve that. Of course, you can even screw that up, but whatever. We're working on it. So wait a second, what?
I missed a spot.
So Calissa has been marking spots on the car where there are little pinholes or divots or stuff that need to be addressed. So she's gonna go ahead and she's marking all that stuff up, and then we'll put some body filler over those little tiny spots, little spot putty. So you found some spots again, huh? Mm-hmm. It's pretty freckly, huh? Yeah. Maybe we should do a spotted paint job on the car.
No.
So we had Calissa for a couple of days to work on the car, and she found a bunch of spots that needed to be addressed, and so now we have put some stuff on those spots. We've put some spot putty on, and now it's just time to fill in the bad spots, and then we're going to go ahead and sand that back and then prime it.
Yes, we know it's bleeding.
Alright, so we got this car today sanded quite a bit down. We used some spot putty and filled a lot of little dings and nicks and scratches and crevices, and we sanded back a lot, and we've been blocking it like crazy.
Don't forget that area.
That spot has been fixed. The center support beam is in now for the radiator, so the latch won't pop. And then looks like we're doing pretty good. We got some work in this quarter to do. This quarter panel needs a lot of love because they stitched it in right there and then right about here, I think. And because this section right here is all different, and they didn't section it in that great, there's points where there are actual seams that are showing up through the sanding. So we've got to work through that. The roof is a lot better, and that will be pretty awesome when we're done. And then it looks like the back of the car should be okay. We weren't getting too carried away with it, were we?
No. Honestly, it's coming together pretty good.
Yeah, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit. We are going to do a little bit more of the spot repair, and then once we do that, we'll push it outside in the sun and let it just sit and off gas for a couple days. And by off gas for a couple days, it's probably going to be a couple of days. Only because we run a full service auto shop here, and our job is not just to fix our own projects, it's to make money. And we've got projects that we are in the midst of that we are getting things done on, and so this is just a secondary thing while we wait for parts or wait for other things to get done. Alright, so it's been a little bit of time. A little time has passed. We've primed the car. And now we're ready to sand the car. So we've primed the car, and what we've done here is we've laid these tiger stripes down, mostly because we want some sort of a guide. So as we sand it, we know where we've sanded and where we've not sanded. And so the whole car has gone and gotten guide coated. We have laid Pour 15, sprayed that into the car in the rusty areas and the engine bay. So the car is ready to sand. So maybe tomorrow, let's get to it. Alright, so good news. You saw our video of sanding so far. The next time you see this car, it'll have paint on it. So that'll be the next video. But anyway, hope you enjoy watching us produce some bodywork on this car and make it look better. And we'll catch you again on the next episode of the Clunker Files.